Hey, how's it going? I'm Nick Gaska and welcome back to I Could Do That DIY for a different kind of video. Today's video is part 2 of the Wednesday series. In this video, I'll be making a diorama of Wednesday in Enid's dorm room from Nevermore Academy. If you haven't seen the show on Netflix, go check it out. There's a lot of amazing architecture in it that's really inspiring. The dorm room in particular is really unique and really breathtaking. The stained glass window is definitely a centerpiece and is a must in this diorama. Alright, let's get into it. I made some patterns using some cardboard. The different angles of the pattern will create a wedge-shaped box. This will create a somewhat forced perspective and really enhance the Burton-esque-ness of the whole thing. Off screen I cut everything out of plywood. I also cut a hole out for the window. The base is a 3/4 inch plywood and the walls are going to be a 1/4 inch plywood. These are going to be the walls. As you can see, one side is angled for the roof. This is the base and the top. I went ahead and pre-marked the pieces for assembly. I'm going to drill through all of these marks. Now we're going to take my drill and drill some holes. Now that I've pre-drilled all of my pieces, I can start assembling. I'll use some wood glue first. I'm going to squeeze it on and then spread it out. After that, I'll put on the back wall and screw it together. Next is the side walls. I'll repeat the same process. Once the sidewalls are in, I'm going to add the ceiling. I'll add some glue to the back wall and the top of the sides. My back wall is a 1/4 inch longer than the sides. This gives the ceiling something to back up against. Once all of the glue is fully dried, it's time to add some wood paneling everywhere. This wood paneling is actually going to be made out of popsicle sticks. Off screen, I went ahead and cut the ends off of all the popsicle sticks with my miter saw. Now we're just going to start gluing them everywhere. I'll put some glue on, spread it with the brush, and start paneling. I'll offset each row so that there's variation to the pattern. I'm going to do this for all of the walls and the ceiling. While I do that, I just have to say thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Also make sure to hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest projects. Also make sure to follow my Instagram accounts. The Honey Doll Instagram will have updates on how to get your very own honey very soon. As I get to the window on the back wall, I'm going to cut away the excess with some pliers. I'll do this again later on for the outer walls. After the glue is all dry for the wood paneling, we're going to add the other details on the wall. As you can see, there's a few different details. I went ahead and pre-cut some pieces. We'll start with the walls. I'll super glue on the 2 stiles for the chair rails. Those are the 2 vertical pieces of the chair rail. Then I'll do the top piece of the chair rail, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Next, I'll glue on the diagonal exposed beams on the ceiling. I'll do one side, mark and measure the location, and then do the same thing on the other side. The chair rails also have a decorative curved piece. To do this, I'm going to use some foam. I cut it down to a 1/4 inch, mitered the edges, added some glue, and then stuck it to the wall. I'm curving the piece as I stick it to the wall. I'll do one side and then do the other side. Once everything is fully dry, we're going to paint it black. We'll do a base coat of black matte acrylic. Once the black paint is fully dry, I'll dry brush various tones of black and gray acrylic paint to really bring out the woodiness of the wood. Now that that's fully painted, I can move on to making the window. I designed and 3D printed this window frame. I did it in 2 halves so it was easier to print. Now we're going to join those 2 halves with some super glue. After the glue dries, we're going to paint it black. Once the paint's all dry, we're going to protect it with some varnish. Alright, awesome! Now let's work on the glass. I'll trace a pattern using the window frame. Then I'll cut it out, and then source some glass. It's not really glass, it's actually plastic from a Hot Wheels box. I'm going to cut it apart, and when I don't feel like cutting it, I'm going to rip it apart. Then I'm going to rip the plastic off of the cardboard. To get all this cardboard off, I'm going to soak it in water off screen. I'll use some Goo Gone afterwards to get the glue off of the plastic. And there we go, there's my glass. Now I'm going to trace the pattern and cut it out. After that, I'll use some super glue to glue it to the back of the window frame. I'll add some glue to the window frame first and then add the plastic. Now let's work on the stained glass portion of this. To make the stained glass, I'm going to use these colored gels that are usually used for photography. I'm also using this Mod Podge. I'll trace the shape I need, cut it out, and then Mod Podge it on. I'm going to start at the center and work my way out. This process was really grueling and kind of crazy. In the end, I'm really happy with how it turns out. It was insane, but worth it. Alright, that's all done. It took me forever, it literally took me 3 days. But it looks pretty amazing. To protect it and to seal in all the individual pieces, I'm going to coat everything in a matte varnish. This particular matte varnish never really dries fully matte and it's always kind of shiny when I use it. Once that's all dry, we're going to install the window into the diorama with some super glue. I'll add some super glue to the back of the window and glue it in. Once I wipe away the excess glue and let everything dry, the diorama is complete. So yeah, here's the finished result. I'm really happy with how the diorama turned out. I think it looks pretty perfect. Some of the colors on the gel aren't the exact shade they should be, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. The diorama was super useful in the photography of the dolls and it was a great backdrop. I think Wednesday and Enid just look perfect in the setting. It makes me want to do more dioramas in the future. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know it's not the usual video, but it was a really fun process. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Make sure to watch all of my different videos in my Wednesday series. In part 1, I make a custom Wednesday doll. Part 2 is the diorama. For part 3, I'll be customizing an Enid Sinclair doll. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!